she feels indebted for him helping her bring all the things inside.
True. Give it a benefit of the doubt.
So where are you from?
I'm from here, LA.
No, like your family, like your background. Or are you black? Like what are you? Are you mixed with something?
I'm black and Creole.
Little Creole, do you speak French?
Not at all.
Haitian? No? Okay. That's what's up. I'm trying to trace back to my roots too. Like I don't know fully what I am. So I'm gonna do one of those 23andMe things to see.
You're not scared of finding out too much?
I mean, no. I mean, it is what it is. There's scary things going on in the world. I want to know why I might be Nigerian. I don't know. Cameroonian.
Right.
A little bit of white in me. You never know.
You're right, you never know.
Okay, we're gonna give him 2 minutes.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. It's Mulatto American. And I saw this video over on the UDY channel. If you're not familiar with them, they do the loyalty test. So they go viral sometimes when they post something. And basically like a boyfriend or a girlfriend will put their partner to the test and see if they're gonna fall for the trap and cheat on them. And I wanted to show you guys just a snippet of the whole episode because I found it really interesting pertaining to the whole mulatto thing, and separating from, both the black community and the white community. And this interaction really captures a lot of dynamics. So right off the bat, we see that it's a girl who's being put to the test, and apparently she appears to be mixed to the black guy. And, we can't see her face, but we do see that she has a dark complexion. So watching this episode, I just thought she was a black girl until that part came up. So notice how once the black guy, and this is when they really sat down and he was trying to get to know her and stuff. So notice how he goes into race and says, "Where are you from?" And then she gives some vague, ambiguous answer. And then he digs deeper. Is no, I mean your family, your ancestry. Are you black or are you mixed with something? And I want to bring this to the attention because, a lot of black people in America, they will tell you that if you're mixed, you're just black, right? And we don't know this guy. We don't know what beliefs he holds, but that's the general consensus among the black community, among the black population. That's what they tell you. And in the video, it says he is from Philly. So he's East Coast. I'm from the East Coast, not too far from Philly, but I didn't grow up anywhere near Philly at the same time. But I am familiar, with that general mid-Atlantic region. And they do one drop over there, just throughout the whole East Coast. So I would imagine that this guy holds the typical beliefs, of the black population. They say if you're mixed, you're just black. And so from my experiences and observations, I have noticed these same black males who say that whole one drop stuff, right? But then when they're trying to get at you, then they'll be like, "Oh, where are you from?" No, I mean, are you mixed? Or what are you mixed with? And in my experience being a mulatto, this question is usually a trap. So if you're visibly, obviously a mulatto and you have the obvious typical features, this question is a trap because what they do is once you go into the whole oh, well, mixed with this, mixed with that, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And it's they'll kind of play into it and be oh, that's cool. But then they'll always find a way to circle back and be well, at the end of the day, you're just black. But what I have noticed is that these black males, they'll actually use mixed as a compliment for other black females, for women who are obviously not mixed, they're just black, or if they're black and they happen to be attractive, then I notice a lot of them play the mixed card and they'll be like, oh, are you mixed? You know, even if like they're obviously not mixed, maybe like they just, you know, they happen to be attractive. But, you know, at least in my experience being in the black community, they use that as like a way to lift up the black girl or the black woman. And, you know, I've noticed in those cases, if the black girl does come out and say, oh, well, yeah, she actually is mixed, then I notice like they'll just kind of go with it. Like if she's dark skinned, you know, like the girl in the video, you know, like you can tell she's dark skinned, and then she says, oh, well, she's black and she's Creole. And notice how the guy like is interested and it's like, oh, do you speak French? And never like circles back and says like, oh, well, you're just black. Because what I'm pointing out is a contradiction. You know, if you're really mixed or a mulatto, then they ask you that question and then they try to humble you and say, oh, well, you're just black at the end of the day. But when it's like an actual black or dark skinned girl, then they, you know, try to play into it because they want to boost up her ego. And then another interesting part of the clip is when he goes on to say that he wants to know, he doesn't know where he comes from, which, you know, is typical for most Black Americans, is they don't know who they are, where they come from. Their history just starts with slavery, so they identify with the struggle, with the slave thing. But then when you as a mulatto come up and, you know, you're proud of your heritage, you know where you're from, and you're proud, these are the same people that try to humble you. So just a note to keep in mind, you know, the next time one of these people, these Black Americans, try to, you know, humble you for knowing that you're a mulatto, just keep in mind this is the kind of stuff they say behind closed doors. I mean, obviously it's in front of cameras, but, you know, he was talking to someone that he viewed as one of him. And so he's just doing what he does, you know, talking to the girl like how he talks to other girls. So just know this is what they say behind closed doors, is they want to take a 23andMe test to see where they come from because they don't know. But then they think they have the authority to tell you where you belong. And then notice at the end of the clip, you know, he says he might be Nigerian, he might be Cameroonian. And then he says he might have a little bit of white in him. You never know. And it's like, why is that of any importance to him? I mean, because you look at him and he just looks black. You know, he's just black. He's blackety black, you know, like black as midnight almost. And he has all those features. So it's like, how does he in his mind think like, oh, he might have a little bit of white in him? And even if he did, like, so what? Is he gonna, you know, go around saying, oh, now he's mixed, you know, now he's a mulatto, and start, you know, identifying with like having white ancestry or blood in him? Because that's another thing that these Black Americans, these pro-blacks do, is that they want to be able to take a test and then it says, oh, they're like 7% European. And then they want to be able to go around and say, yeah, they got white blood in them, you know, like they're mixed, right? Because of that 7% that 23andMe told them. But then when they see actual mulattoes, you know, who are really mixed, they have a parent who is European or white, then they want to one drop you and say, no, you're black. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they want to be mixed. They want you to be black. It's like identity exchanging, identity switching, you know? And so I thought it was really interesting to show like how the Black males, how they go about mating and courtship, if you can call it that, with other women, especially with one of his own, you know, because I've seen this in real life. I've seen it in real life, and this is what they do. It's like they always, for some reason, have to bring up race, especially if the girl, you know, she's attractive, like I said before. If you're actually mixed, they'll entertain it for a little while and then try and humble you with the whole, well, you know, you're just black, right? You know, but you identify with your black side more, right? But then if it's a black girl, then they like do the whole mix thing to elevate her ego, right? Which is crazy because they're the ones that accuse us of thinking that we're better than them. And, you know, this show has been around for a while. This isn't even the first time I've seen this happen on this show. But I caught it, you know, now that I'm making content and they just uploaded this, I was like, oh, let me use this in my videos because it's a really good example, you know, of the kind of conversation that these Black Americans, I know some of you have like other words that you like to use to describe them, but like these dark skins, whatever, the kind of conversations they have about race and dating when it's just them, right? And then when they come to a mulatto, then they start singing a different tune, right? Acting like they have authority over you. They don't know where you come from. So just wanted to share that. I'll be out with more videos. Leave your comments down below what you think of this clip. And if you agree, if you've experienced this or observed this, and if you like this content and want to see more from the mixed race perspective, be sure to share this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.